Well, hello everyone. It is now just after 1 o'clock here in Germany on November 24th, and I am on here making yet another talking video um, because I want to thank everyone who has subscribed in the last 24 hours. When I woke up yesterday, I had 1,921, I think, subscribers, and then somebody dropped off. So I was at 1920. And then somehow, I guess my latest talking video got shared, and I'm now at 1939, which is cool. I've almost made up for all of the people that unsubscribed after the election. Those of you who've been following me for a while might have heard me tell you that just a few months ago I only had 200 subscribers. And then I started making parodies, and I had a bunch of people sign up to follow me. I don't really do this for anything, not for money or fame or anything. I make videos because I like to sing and because I have a good sense of humor and I like making jokes, and I hate the MAGA movement. So that's why I make the parodies. It's not to be famous or make money. I'm not saying that I won't sign up for YouTube's partner program at some point, but at this point, I'm not really inclined to. I really am not interested in trying to make money. I write a blog, and the videos I put on my channel, some of them are for the blog. And I used to have a link to my blog, but I took them off because I did not want MAGA people showing up on my blog to harass me. So, but I'm really more of a writer than anything else. And I've been thinking about vlogging for a while, but I don't like really being on camera. But I may end up doing it because it seems that this is a medium I could do. So I appreciate everyone who did tune in and share and have left really kind, intelligent, nice comments. It was nice to wake up at 3:30 in the morning and find I had 6 new subscribers, and they left really nice comments. They were not hateful. And then even more in the morning. So great, thank you. I do have a parody in mind. Last night I was sitting in my living room, actually my dining room, listening to music, drinking some of the Belgian beer we bought last week. And I heard this song, and I started making up lyrics as it was playing. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to learn the song because it wasn't one that I know very well, but it was just kind of perfect. So I'm going to probably work on doing that today. And maybe I'll have it up later, but it may be later in the week. It just depends on how it turns out. But, on the subject of voter regret and people getting disowned and disinvited for the holidays, my family a lot of them are MAGA people. And they live in Virginia. I live in Germany. And I haven't been home in 10 years. It's mainly because I don't like riding. I don't like long haul flights, and I don't like going places where I don't feel welcome, and I don't want to sit on a plane for hours to go see family and then get treated like crap. So my family are good people, but a lot of them I sort of got disowned when it became clear that I was no longer voting Republican, and I'm not religious like they are. And my father died 10 years ago. I went home for that, and I just didn't feel welcome. So I haven't been back to the States since 2014. And my husband has. He's gone home on business, or gone to the States on business. And now that he's back in touch with one of his daughters, he's gone to Utah to see her and meet his grandchildren. That's another story. But I have a mother, and my mom has even told me that I shouldn't come back unless there's no other choice. And I have sisters, but we're kind of distant. They all live in different places, and I have a huge extended family, and they are pretty close, and every Thanksgiving they have a shindig. I have lots of musical people in my family, lots of artists, and they have a barn and there's a dance. And I have a cousin who used to play in Nashville, and so there's live music, and it was always a lot of fun, and I do miss it. But something happened a few years ago with one of my relatives, and I think it changed things forever. It was back in 2017. One of my uncles, who was very much a Trump supporter, got into an argument with a cousin of mine. It was actually my cousin's daughter. And he wrote her a very condescending, patronizing email about how she was stupid because she wasn't a Trump supporter. And it was like, see here, young lady, you're not smart. I mean, my cousin went to the University of Virginia. She's certainly quite smart. But it was all of this crap about how, I know where you came from and I know who your family is. And he was probably drunk when he wrote it. And I was pissed off for her. But then a few months later, he sent me an email, and it was political bullshit. And it was about how great Trump and Pence were. And I said, I'm not impressed with either of them. I look forward to the day when they're out of office. And he wrote back the same kind of crap to me. And I'm quite a bit older than my cousin. At the time, I think I was about 44 years old. And I just kind of was thinking, you know what? I was raised to respect my elders, but I'm kind of becoming an elder now. And at some point, it's got to be okay to push back against this. And so I wrote back to him and I said, no, I won't be cheering in a year. He says, you'll be cheering in a year after Trump and Pence have been in office. I said, no, I won't be. I know I won't be. And he wrote back and doubled down on it. And I said, look, unless you want a verbal ass kicking, I think you should stop sending me this stupid bullshit in my email. I'm not interested in it. It's racist, it's misogynist, and it's offensive, and I want you to stop it. And he wrote back this very profane, drunken screed that reminded me of fights I had with my dad before my dad got dementia. And, it broke my heart because he was one of my favorite people. He was one of my favorite uncles. And here he was being abusive to me. And I have been abused by my family members, my dad especially. But my dad was never that, he didn't like profanity, so he didn't swear at me very much. But this was, my uncle, just completely unhinged. And it made me realize that this was the family that my dad was raised in, and they're all probably like this. And everything that I thought was love and caring was just a facade. And it made me realize that it would be better to just stay with my husband who loves me and my dogs. So I just wrote, and I said, listen, I'm warning you. You're not dealing with cousin here, you're dealing with me. And you better stop. And he kind of did, except he got hacked. So I still sometimes get emails from him, even though he passed away in 2022. We never did have another conversation. We never patched things up. And his sons, who used to be some of my favorite cousins, 3 of them don't really talk to me. One of them has really fallen down the MAGA hole. And I don't even want to talk to him because I can barely stand to listen to him. He's the type of person who worships Trump, but doesn't swear because it's offensive. But he'll walk around with his guns and praise a man who is a rapist and a criminal, a literal criminal. It's heartbreaking. So I understand. people who are upset that they're being cut off from family, but it isn't just the MAGAs that are getting cut off. Some of us were cut off a long time ago. And I got to tell you, it's been about 10 years of Trump. And we're tired. A lot of us are so tired of this. And the fact that you still have people that were talking to you in spite of all of this crazy crap, you're just now getting cut off. You should be grateful, because people were patient and they waited. This is a last straw for some people. As far as my family goes, I mean, my sister, when I wrote that email to my cousin, was like, "Oh my God, now you've done it." And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I went to therapy for a long time, and I earned a master's degree in social work and another in public health. My mental health is important, and I'm not going to have that. So if it means that I don't talk to people anymore, so be it. I've got to take care of my own health. So if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you very much for listening, and thank you all for being kind and intelligent and not leaving hate on my channel. And I will do what I can to put up stuff that's worth watching or listening to. So I'll see you in the next video.